Now, anxieties is something we all face, but imagine if it was heightened by like 1,000. That's how I feel as I get very, very close to my 30th birthday. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my biggest anxieties as I turn 30. Guys, my name is AJ Sarpong. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I don't know if this is going to be a new greeting or what. But welcome, as I usually do. Please support the ministries, guys. Support the ministry. Hallelujah. Please subscribe. Leave me a nice little thumbs up, comment, and of course, generally share this to your friends and family. But getting straight into it, anxieties as I turn 30. So, as you might already know in my very first video, I'm kind of struggling with turning 30, and it's been quite a journey, especially in this final year of my 20s, and in the run-up to my 30th birthday in a very few short days, I've started to sort of examine where my anxiety is coming from. And a few of the things I've listed as giving me the biggest anxiety is what I want to share with you. If you're someone who's getting towards this period, or even in any other milestone, maybe 19 into 20, 29 into 30, 39 into 40, whatever it is, perhaps this is something you might share as well. I'll start off with the very first one, and that is earning more. I spent most of my 20s working, something I've shared on many platforms before. In case you don't know, I'm into the media space. I do TV, radio. I have one of the highest or biggest mid-morning shows in the entire country, Ghana, from wherever you might be watching from, if you're not Ghanaian, that is. I have a huge TV show. I have a social media following. I am generally not, or I wouldn't rate myself in a category of someone who needs to be so anxious about this particular thing, but I am, because it's one thing to have worked so long, but then to look back and realize that you haven't really earned as much as you would have expected to, especially with, if I was to rank myself across other media presenters in different areas across the continent or across the world. I feel like at some point I should have been earning more than I did, or I should be earning more, at least entering into my 30s. So I started to sort of freak out a little about the possibility of earning more. What do I do? How do I increase my streams of revenue? How do I sort of navigate as I enter into my 30s? Because your 20s, you know, you can fool around in your 20s. But when you get into 30, you are a woman now, and you have to make certain good choices. And am I making the right financial choices in terms of how I want to live my life for the next 10 years? So I've been very anxious about earning more, and of course increasing my earning power, and that is keeping me up at night, I cannot lie. Now, another thing that is weighing heavily on my mind and heart and everything else inclusive is creating assets. I'm talking about earning more in the first one, but now how does that money that I have earned translate into acquiring assets, stocks, bonds, home, life insurance, building wealth for myself and possibly my family? Like, how have I contributed in the quest for creating assets for me and my family members? It's something that keeps me up, and I haven't made a lot of good financial choices, if I must be perfectly honest. And I'll pick another day to sort of examine some of my horrible financial choices over the last few years, and I will be sharing those. But I have also been put in situations where I realized, oh my goodness, I have nothing liquid. Like, I can't melt anything because there's nothing to melt in the first place. You see, if you have assets, at least you can say, oh, let me do some sell this. There's nothing to sell. There's nothing. Like, nothing. It's all depreciating assets. And it's not that iPhone 12 or 13 or that MacBook or even the car, because I mean, how much will you get? But as soon as you drive out of the showroom or the carport, the car's already started to lose value. How much of that have I acquired, and as against assets that are going to always appreciate in value. I have made, again, some really bad choices, and I now started to wonder if I had started saving earlier, if I had started making better financial choices, if I started buying land when land was 1,000 cities, now it's 100,000 cities. So I'm now also thinking about how I can do better moving forward and make better financial decisions, and in turn create assets, not only for me but for my parents, for my siblings. Even though I'm the last born, don't hold it against me. I still want to be in a position where I can be able to help out in every other possible way. So creating assets has been high on my list. Another thing has been career development and direction. Where do you go from there? So my dream is world domination. Like I literally want to be known across the world. I want to be known for being the best in terms of the media space, in terms of presenting, radio, content creation. I want to be the best. But how do I get there? Like having a clear-cut direction, clear-cut way of developing my careers is something that has been keeping me up at night. Knowing that you can put in so much work, but if it's not seen, if it's not recognized, if it's not appreciated, it feels like it's going down the drain. So career direction and development has been something that's been weighing heavily on me. How can I be better? How can I conquer the world? Literally, how can I conquer the world? And I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but like I honestly want to be better. Like if you do largely play in the same space for 10 years onwards, like you want to know what is the next step. Like how can I make my radio show better? How can I make my TV show better? How can I catch a bigger audience? Hence why I've decided to take the plunge and then do YouTube. Not necessarily for world domination or conquering the world, but also to try something new, something that I've been doubting for quite a while. Like I've always wanted, hey, you know when I first decided to do YouTube? About 10 years ago, or okay, maybe about not 10 years ago, about 7 years ago, it had occurred to me that, oh, perhaps you should do this. And the next year, I actually tried filming one video. I remember with GhanaMusic.com, and I didn't even go back to even edit the video. That was in about 2014 is when I actually first took the step to want to do it, and I never came back again. And I've always wondered, what if I had done it then? But not to dwell on past mistakes, but career development and direction, not to digress again, is largely something that keeps me up at night. And I wonder, how can I be better in every aspect? And well, I'm hoping 30 will unravel that for me. Another thing is maintaining the perfect work-life balance. Some people say it doesn't exist. I think it does. But I haven't found it yet. It's like when you believe in utopia, but you don't know how to get there. Or you believe in a unicorn, but you wonder where you can find one. I actually believe in a work-life balance, that somehow you can find the perfect one where my parents see me more, and yet I'm able to do everything at work. Or I can attend school and I don't lose out on everything else on my social life. Do you understand? Like, I feel that there can be a work-life balance. It's just I haven't found it, because my social life suffers a lot. Reason being, I work like 6 days a week, and on the other 1.5, or should I say 1 day left, I'm doing this YouTube, or trying to figure out catching up with groceries, gigs, doing everything else inclusive. So I practically have little time for anything else. And I'm hoping that in the next decade, I can figure out finally a work-life balance where I'm not overworking myself, and rather can find an opportunity to go out more, to socialize with friends. I practically never see my friends. Have more drinks, eat dinners in restaurants that I've been bookmarking forever, and maybe figure in dating as well. But finding that perfect work-life balance is something that I'm I wonder and I'm scared about, because I'm thinking, if right now I am overworking myself like this, what happens if I someday marry and have children? Does my career have to suffer because I'm now a mother and a wife? How does that work out for me? I will explore this a bit more in another video where I talk about being an unmarried single woman in this town. But until then, I will try to keep striving for that perfect work-life balance. And maybe someday I can sit here and tell you that I finally found it. And finally, settling down. I might act like I don't care, but sometimes a little part of me actually does. Because I've been around for so long and I've been doing this for so long, everyone assumed that I'm older than I am. That's one. And everyone has always assumed that, why are you not married? And I keep telling them, I'm 26, or I'm 27, or I'm 29. And now it's like when you enter into your 30s, you don't really have much of an excuse again. It's like, I'm 30. You are 30 and you haven't thought about marrying? Like that kind of thing. But now that you enter into your 30s, you don't really have much of an excuse again. You can say, oh, but I'm just 29. And they'll be like, well, yeah, you'll soon be 30. But when you say, I'm just 30, hey, when I was your age, and that kind of thing. But I wonder about settling down. But one thing that's quite interesting about me is that I've never let society's timeline affect mine, if that makes any sense. Society expected things to happen in a certain way. Matter of fact, at a point, I was influenced by society. I really thought that I would be married by 27. I would have kids at 29. I'll bounce back into a baby girl by 32. And you just like, I had a whole plan in my head about how things would plan out in terms of the rollout of my life. And if I'd been perfectly honest, I probably could have been married by 20. But let's skip over that. I generally worry a little. If I have to be perfectly honest, I worry a little about navigating that, settling down, like finding that perfect man, because dating is so hard. I find dating so tedious, like getting to know you, going on different dates. Don't get me wrong, I like dinners. I like fine dining, but the process of actually getting to know a different person and hope that they are not crazy psychotic killers. Not that there are any crazy psychotic killers, I hope, in the dating scene, but generally trying to figure that out is quite exhausting, in my opinion. So having to think about, when will I find someone? When will we date for 2 years for him to now pop the question for us to get married, for us to have kids? At what age will I be? But then I look around me and I've seen so many amazing examples in my family and as well in friends who are living the dream without any timeline. People that have found love at 45 and have married their true loves at 50. People that are now having their kids at 40. People that are finding the perfect man at 39. Like it's something that no one can predict. And above all, I just sort of leave it in God's hands, even though I have certain fears, and if I must be perfectly honest about that, but I also know that I serve a higher power who, and I don't want to be preachy here, but I serve a higher power who knows all things, who determines all things, who knows the perfect timeline for me. So if it's not happening for me now, it doesn't mean it's not, God forbid. It means when it's time, it will be glorious. And I'll be so happy that I'd waited for this particular moment. So even though I stress about it, I try not to, because I remember that in all things, it will fall, or in the perfect time, all things will fall in place. So these are my anxieties as I turn 30. I know some of them are a little heavy. Oh my God, you're laying it on us. But I have to be honest, and I've made a promise to myself to be very honest in this journey. So, and as much as I feel certain things, I want to share it And I hope my honesty doesn't go down as a blogger's gold mine. But thank you for watching. I'll encourage you to subscribe. Please, 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 please subscribe. Like, follow me on social media, and comment and give me a thumbs up and all of that jazz. And until I come your way again, take care of yourselves. Be good and wish me a happy birthday in advance, because I'm soon gonna be 30. But I'll make a baby girl for life. Peace out.